Hi, I'm Jane Clark.
I'm Ainara Landon.
And I'm Marem Hassler. And we are the producers behind Witchy Ways.
This film is a witchy lesbian rom-com, and I love rom-coms. So I had a ton of fun filling it with all those sort of classic tropes, you know, the best friend with the wise advice, and the unexpected meet cute, and the flirting and falling in love, and the inevitable happy ending. I don't think I give anything away by telling you that. And then I added a little spice on top of it. I added a witch and a ghost. And because of the witch and the ghost, this film also becomes about destiny and the power of the moon and the magic of manifestation. And then I layered underneath it something that I think that most people can identify with, and that is the fear of letting go. You know, we all, at some point in our life, we hold on to something or things that are not helping us anymore, or not maybe helping us move forward, or they're holding us back, or they're just keeping us stagnant, or in some cases they're just unhealthy. And we do it because it's safe, or it's the thing we know, or we're scared of what might be on the other side. But on the other side of letting go is happiness.
We've gone through a pandemic and people have almost lost that connection to oneself, and this film kind of opens up that little door to yourself again.
And it's one of the reasons why I really have grown to love our friendship, because I've discovered that over time that we have very similar philosophies on life and love and the world, and we've really made an effort to stay in touch even through the pandemic and the fact that we're on separate continents. So when Marem came to town last December, we went out for a drink like we usually do.
We do really well together in bars. And she said, ooh, I want to write something about witches. And I remember just every part of my body just went bing, 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 bing. It's like, you know, in Vegas, one-armed, pew, pew. As you can tell, I have a tendency of doing my own sound effects now. Please put me out of my misery. Come on board and take care of that for me, please.
Gotta be honest, when I was talking about witches, I was just sort of saying that I like films about witches. I wasn't thinking about a specific story about a witch. But Marem was like, guess what? I bought a camera, so let's do this. Let's shoot it. Let's shoot something. Let's make a movie together. And I was like, okay, I'm in. And then I got home and I went, oh man, now I gotta write a script. With this particular project, for some reason, it was a bigger struggle than normal. So I took a step back and I went and watched everything I could find on witches and ghosts and rom-coms, because I knew I wanted to do a rom-com, and I knew I wanted a witch, and I knew I wanted a ghost. And I landed on Practical Magic. And I don't know if you guys remember this movie. I remembered liking it, but I did not remember liking it as much as I did. And I finally thought, that's it, that's my key in. And I started writing, and then I started researching, and I realized I knew nothing really about witches. All I knew was what I've seen on TV and in film. But the more I researched, the more I learned, the more I educated myself, the deeper the script grew, until I finally felt like it was a place where I could share it with the team.
Marem and I have been friends and have worked together in many projects over the last 9 years. We founded Prickly Pears Films, and we're always manifesting out for our next project. So when she told me about Jane and Witchy Ways, I read the script right away. I had heard great things about Jane, so I was very, very excited to meet her and work with her. And of course, I love practical magic, so I was very excited to read something like Witchy Ways, magical with a twist.
And then when I got to read the first draft of the script, and just how lovely my character is introduced to this world, it just touched me. It really did. And I get to prep, right? I get to really put everything into prep. Anybody who knows me knows this is the part I just love so much.
So I wrote the role of Eve for Marem. And Danny the witch, I didn't specifically write it for Alexis Knapp, but I think she was somewhere in the back of my mind inspiring me. I wrote the role of Penny, the best friend, for Candace Kane, who I absolutely adore, who's a wonderful actress. And then the antagonist I wrote for my neighbor, Mark Price. And Mark, you might know, if you can think way back to Family Ties, Mark was the next door neighbor Skippy who was in love with Mallory. Or my cousin Ford Austin, who's playing Fred, my friend Guinevere Turner playing Aurora the Witch, and I'm introducing a new actress. Her name is Alexandra Barton, who I actually worked with when she was 13 years old, and then she went off to do some other things, and she's back. I'm really excited to introduce her to all of you, and yeah, I'm excited in general.
We are excited to announce that we're launching production on December 5th. And after some searching, we found the perfect location for Witchy Ways. We had been looking at many houses, but when we did the location scouting for this one, we had an intuition about this place, so it had to be it. Jane has been adjusting the script, and it just gets better. So now that we have the location, we're working on having everything ready for our shoot and gathering our team. Marco, our DP, is very excited about the location too, and Natalie, our prop person and all things witchy related consultant, has already been coming up with great ideas that we can't wait to share with you.
Everywhere I go, when I talk to people about this project, there's a fascination or a recognition, or they are intrigued or they're excited, but it's only been a positive response. And I feel like with all of you coming on board, if you can come on board, you're going to be part of the synergy that creates the whole. It's that number of people all putting their energy towards this positive result that's going to make it a great movie. And I think it's going to be a movie that is funny. I think you'll laugh. I think you might even cry a little bit. It's certainly poignant at times. It's very romantic. It's really sexy. And it's an adventure. It's a fun story. So I think you'll be proud to have been a part of it. And I'm pretty sure, I'm hopeful anyway, that it's one of those movies like Practical Magic that when you get 20 years down the line, that it's still as resonant as it is hopefully going to be when it is released. But again, we need your help. We need to get this $20,000. We pulled the trigger, probably should have waited, but we did. So here we are. Marem's already bought her ticket.
And I got so excited. I booked my flight today. Boom, done. Pew, on a rocket ship.
And we've already reserved the house. So, we're going to have to rely on the kindness of our friends and family and fans and strangers who are just discovering us. So I hope that you hear something, see something, read something about this project that resonates, that excites you, and inspires you to support us. It means a lot. We can't do it without you, and we are deeply grateful.
And as we're continuing on, spread the word. Just tell everybody. Tell your little toes. Those little toes will take you to places unbeknownst to you, and just this impulse will come, and then you'll be in front of somebody. That's the person you need to tell, and then they'll take you somewhere else, and that's the person you need to tell everybody. And we just hope to see you on the other side of that campaign, and we get to make this movie together, and just thoroughly excited and appreciative that you are part of this. Lots of love.